Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today we're diving into a topic that so many of you have asked about: how to improve your English pronunciation and sound more like a native speaker. The secret? It's not just about practicing speaking. It's about listening. I mean, really, truly listening. Think about it. How did you learn your first language? You listened for years before you even started speaking fluently. The same principle applies here. Active listening is the key that will unlock your pronunciation potential. It's about training your ear to catch the subtle sounds, the rhythm, and the melody of English. This isn't just a passive activity. It's an active workout for your brain and your ears. So grab a notebook and let's get started on this journey to transform your speaking skills one sound at a time. It's going to be fun, I promise. So, what exactly is active listening when it comes to pronunciation? It's not just having English news on in the background while you do chores. It's a focused, intentional process. It's about dissecting what you hear. You need to pay close attention to individual sounds, word stress, sentence rhythm, and intonation. Let's break it down. First, individual sounds. English has some tricky vowels and consonants that might not exist in your native language, like the TH sound in think and that, or the difference between the vowels in ship and sheep. Active listening means you consciously try to hear these differences. You're not just hearing words. You're hearing the building blocks of those words. This is the first and most fundamental step. Once you can hear a sound accurately, you're halfway to being able to produce it yourself. It's like a musician learning to hear the notes before they can play them. Now, let's talk about the next layer: word stress. This is huge in English. Stressing the wrong syllable in a word can completely change its meaning or make it difficult to understand. For example, think about the word record. If I say record, it's a noun like a vinyl record. If I say record, it's a verb meaning to capture sound or video. See the difference? When you're actively listening, you need to ask yourself, which part of the word is louder? Which part is longer? Which part has a higher pitch? Start by focusing on two-syllable words. Listen to a native speaker say words like object, present, or conduct. Can you hear how the stress shifts depending on whether it's a noun or a verb? Try to mimic that stress pattern. This simple shift in focus from just understanding the word to understanding its musicality will make a massive difference in how natural you sound. Beyond individual words, we have sentence rhythm. English is what we call a stress-timed language. This means that the time between stressed syllables is roughly the same, and we squish the unstressed syllables in between. This is what creates that characteristic beat or rhythm of English. In contrast, many other languages are syllable-timed, where each syllable gets about the same amount of time. This difference is a major reason why non-native speakers can sometimes sound a bit robotic or choppy. So, when you're listening, don't just listen to the words. Listen for the beat. Clap it out if you have to. Find the stressed words in a sentence. These are usually the important content words like nouns, main verbs, adjectives, and adverbs. Notice how the small function words like a, the, in, and to are often unstressed and pronounced very quickly. We call these reductions. Let's do a quick exercise with sentence rhythm. Take the sentence: I want to go to the store to buy some bread. A native speaker wouldn't say every word with equal emphasis. It would sound more like, I want to go to the store to buy some bread. Hear that? The main beats are on want, store, and bread. The little words in between are reduced and linked together. Want to becomes wanna, and to the becomes to thee. This is the music of English. When you actively listen for this rhythm, you start to internalize it. A great way to practice is through a technique called shadowing. You simply listen to a short audio clip and try to speak along with the speaker, matching their speed, rhythm, and intonation as closely as possible. It feels weird at first, but it's an incredibly powerful way to train your mouth to move in new ways. Next up is intonation, or the melody of your speech. It's how the pitch of your voice rises and falls as you speak. Intonation is what conveys emotion, attitude, and grammatical meaning. For example, a rising intonation at the end of a sentence usually signals a yes/no question. You're coming to the party? The pitch goes up. A falling intonation usually signals a statement. You're coming to the party. The pitch goes down. But it's so much more than that. Intonation shows if you're excited, bored, sarcastic, or sincere. When you're actively listening, pay attention to the musical contour of sentences. Is the speaker's voice going up or down? Are they using a wide pitch range to show excitement or a narrow one to show boredom? Try listening to a podcast or a scene from a TV show without looking at the screen. Can you guess the speaker's mood just from their intonation? This is a fantastic exercise for tuning your ear to the emotional subtext of English. So, how do we put all this into practice? What materials should you use? The key is to find content that you genuinely enjoy. If you're bored, you won't stick with it. If you love movies, watch scenes over and over. If you're into science, listen to science podcasts. If you like music, learn the lyrics to your favorite English songs and sing along. The internet is your best friend here. YouTube, podcasts, audiobooks, Netflix, the resources are endless. The trick is to use them actively. Don't just consume. Analyze. For your first listen, just try to get the general meaning. For the second listen, grab the transcript if you can and focus on the individual sounds you find difficult. On the third listen, pay attention to word stress and sentence rhythm. Mark the stressed syllables. Finally, on the fourth listen, focus entirely on the intonation. Hum the melody of the sentences. Let's talk about a specific actionable technique. It's called the listen, record, compare method. It's simple but incredibly effective. First, find a short audio clip, maybe 1 or 2 sentences spoken by a native speaker. Listen to it carefully several times, paying attention to all the elements we've discussed: sounds, stress, rhythm, and intonation. Next, use your phone or computer to record yourself saying the exact same sentence. Be brave. This part is crucial. Finally, compare your recording to the original. Listen to the native speaker, then listen to yourself. Then listen to the native speaker again, and then yourself again. What are the differences? Is your R sound different? Did you stress the wrong word? Was your intonation flat when it should have been rising? This immediate feedback is gold. It makes you aware of your specific problem areas, which is the first step toward fixing them. Remember, this is a marathon, not a sprint. You won't sound like a native speaker overnight, and that's okay. The goal is clear communication, not perfection. Be patient and kind to yourself. Celebrate the small victories. Maybe this week you finally mastered the TH sound, or you noticed for the first time how and is often reduced to lenny in phrases like rock and roll. That's progress. Consistency is far more important than intensity. Spending just 15 minutes a day doing focused, active listening will yield much better results than a 3-hour cram session once a week. Make it a habit, just like brushing your teeth. Integrate it into your daily routine. Listen to a podcast on your way to work. Analyze a song lyric while you're making dinner. The more you immerse yourself in the sounds of English, the more natural it will become. To sum it all up, great pronunciation starts with great listening. You need to train your ears to hear the nuances of English before you can expect your mouth to produce them. Focus on the 4 key areas: individual sounds, word stress, sentence rhythm, and intonation. Use materials you enjoy to keep yourself motivated. Practice with active techniques like shadowing and the listen, record, compare method. And most importantly, Be consistent and patient with your progress. You are rewiring your brain and retraining decades of muscle memory. That takes time, but trust the process. By becoming an active listener, you are laying the strongest possible foundation for clear, confident, and natural-sounding English. Thank you so much for watching today. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more tips. Let me know in the comments what your biggest pronunciation challenge is. See you in the next video.